Hey everybody on Bring a Trailer. We are out in our 1971 Euro spec Ferrari 246 Dino. I hope you can all hear us because the cabin's a little loud. This is a car that is definitely on my closest to my heart list. Bought this car in 2004. So we're just warming it up. In Canmore, Alberta, and I've traced back the history all the way back to almost new. The second owner bought it in Switzerland, where the car remained until early 2000s, when it was brought over from Germany by a guy, I believe his name is Michael Ebinger, to Vancouver, British Columbia. When he moved from Germany to Vancouver. And then he ultimately sold it to Brian Jessel Ferrari, who was the Ferrari dealer in Vancouver at the time. And Brian Jessel sold it to a customer in Calgary, Alberta, and that owner sold it to another gentleman from Alberta, a place called Canmore, Alberta. And I found the car for a customer in 2004. And it's been in Victoria for the last 16 years. When we bought the car, it had about 47,500 kilometers on it in 2004. It now has 50,593 kilometers. When we bought the car, it had red carpets with black trim. The dash was getting old, and a couple other things needed sort of some tidying it up. So back then we paid $75,000 US for the car, and everybody thought I was absolutely crazy to buy it. That's too much money, and on and on and on. And over the years, the car went up in value. I bought it back from the gentleman I sold it to in 2012. Just to make it warm up. And from 2012 till now, it's been sort of in my control and possession with another customer. I had it personally for 3 or 4 years. I've had the car in my house in Scottsdale and spent lots of time driving. And I bet you of the 3,000 kilometers it's received in the last 16 years of ownership, I've put 2,000 of those on. So I know the car super well. Things I love about this car, every time I get into it, it runs every time. There's never one time, other than a dead battery, one time that it didn't start. It's been a super reliable car. In about 2014 or 2015, I sent the car to Craig Calder at Fast Cars in Redondo Beach. Fast Cars is a restoration shop and repair shop that concentrates a lot on pebble bit beach winning cars, and concentrates on restorations of Ferraris. Specifically, he did a full restoration on another Dino we had for me, and they're incredible at what they do. So I sent the car to Craig and sort of said, anything the car needs, just go ahead and do it. I wanted to make sure that all the suspension components, all the electronics, the air conditioning, everything worked the way it should. Air conditioning works now. When I dropped it off, it didn't. So it's kind of nice to have AC in this car. It can get hot, and definitely on the days you want to drive it, it's generally sunny. I had Coachworks Restoration here in Victoria do a complete paint job on the car, I want to say in 14 or 15 also. So just as the car went up in value, it allowed you to spend a little bit more money on it to get it to a higher level. I refinished all 4 wheels. I put the XWX tires on, and just got it up to the best driver standard you could possibly ask for. It's not Concours perfect, but you know, anybody that ever runs into you driving the car thinks it's absolutely brand new and perfect. All the gauges and everything are in incredibly good shape. They were done earlier on in the car's life. And the seats are the seats that I got in 2004. all the wipers, window switches, turn signals, fans, power windows, all of those things work. Just Joel, notice on this passenger's window, this little latch isn't on right now. Anybody that knows Dinos, if you look at my side, it's mounted there. This latch is mounted to the glass with essentially glue. 9 out of 10 of them pop off, so I think it's actually in the glove box. That's the only thing that I know that's not working right now. I can confirm. It's back there. Every switch gauge, everything works the way it should. Cigar lighter works the way it should. Air conditioning works. The transmission shifts well. There's nothing to do to the car. I bought from Ferrari Literature a complete set of books with pouch for the car, because when we got it, it didn't have them. There's a jack, a tool roll. I think those items today would probably sell for $15,000 or $20,000 alone. So there's nothing missing with this car. The original color was it green, which is the bright Kermit the Frog green, if you will.
Can't remember.
Verde Gremolio, I think, is what it's called. But very low production that these were built in that color. So if somebody wanted to get a unique looking Dino, painting it back to its original color would be super cool. If you've been looking for a Dino, finding one that's sorted out properly, restored properly, is tough to find, because they just weren't worth enough money back in the day when a lot of these got restored. This one being in our possession and with a few of our customers over the last 16 years, it had money spent on it over and over and over to get it up to a great standard. The exhaust system sounds incredible. There's no misfires or anything under load. The car pulls strong all the way through red line. Get an opportunity. The brakes, when you stop, the car stops straight. Honestly, just no issues whatsoever. The only thing I could see, the oil temperature gauge either isn't working or it's just not up to temperature yet, but I would think that it should have come up by now. So that's something we'll have a look at to see if we can get working. That's the first time I've not seen that work. I love the original, or it's not original, it's a reproduction Dino key tag. The Euro spec Dinos, I think, look a little prettier, and especially the GT coupes. You have that rear window that's a curved piece of glass, and your C-pillar has that line with the rear window that you miss on the GTS open cars. And I think those are the most beautiful lines on these cars. When you're sitting in the driver's seat, you look out the front, you see those big hips of the front fenders, which is something that is just unmistakable in a Dino when you're sitting driving one. Your driving position, you're sitting very low, you're looking up over the hips. The car looks so cool when you're sitting in the driver's seat. People always ask ask headroom wise, how much headroom do you have? I'm 5'10" and a half, probably equally body to leg tall, and I have lots of room, comfortable. Joel's over there on the other side. He's 5'4". Sorry, maybe 6'1". And he's got enough room. I'm sure somebody.
Yeah, I've got probably 2 inches. I'm 6 feet.
So they do have enough room. I'm not sardined in here in any way, shape, or form. So this one we are going to offer on Bring a Trailer with a reserve. Although we've sold over 30 cars without reserve, I just don't think we're ready for that much risk. So we'll work with anybody with helping get the car back to your home, country, province, state, whatever it may be. Logistics and shipping is the easy part. We'll take care of it. Any U.S. buyers, you have to consider 2.8% duty to import the car into the U.S. If that is your choice, we can supply the car on Washington State title. If you're going to lease the vehicle, we can also help with arranging a lease in the U.S. Through some of our partners there. Woodside Credit will also finance the car if you want to finance it. We just have to give them a U.S. title when doing so. So there's no limitations. Borders don't mean anything when it comes to collector cars. The car's 25 years old, so it's compliant in every province, every state. It's a 1971, so I think it's emission issues aren't an issue even in California, and that's about it. So under the front trunk, you'll notice the spare tires there with the tire hold down. And I'm trying to think what else is in the rear trunk. Rear trunk, there's lots of documents that we have in a file that go back to one of the past owners, and actually the second owner that owned it from the early 80s in Switzerland came and visited the car last year. So we have all his contact information. I have all the contact information for the 2 people that owned it in Calgary, and then the people that owned it here in Victoria. We give you a full chronological breakdown of ownership and timelines and whatnot. We definitely know the last 16 years, and previous to that we have a really, really tight timeline of who owned it, where it was, and when, and what sort of work was done. We have period photos from the early 80s when the gentleman in Switzerland bought it. It had a front nose collision when he bought it, and that's how he acquired it. He had it repaired, then restored it, and painted it black. So we have photos of when it was painted black, and then photos from when Evinger had it, brought it over from Germany with an appraisal. So it's got a good documented history. We confirmed with Marcel Massini and Matthias Bartz, the Ferrari expert Marcel, and Dino expert Matthias Bartz, that it is 100% numbers matching, transmission, body and motor, and chassis obviously. So there's no question that you're getting a completely numbers matching car. So other than that, I think we've covered everything off. We're back at the shop now, and we'll certainly answer any questions you may have, and help in any way we can with the bidding process. Ask lots of questions. We answer almost immediately every time. If there's anything else you want to send us privately, please feel free to. If you happen to have a trade-in, we're willing to listen to any trades. Trades have to be sorted out prior to the end of auction, but we will definitely look at trades. So good luck with the bidding. Joel and Tim are our names. Please reach out when you can.